In a world increasingly dominated by technology and rapid change, there's something deeply comforting when people sit down and share their stories. Sitting with people as they weave their narratives, one is transported to different times and places, gaining a deeper understanding of the world as it once was. Hi, I'm V C Pramod and welcome to Treasure Stories. Today, I have the absolute honor and privilege to have on my show a man who's received the Param Vishisht Seva Medal (PVSM), the Sena Medal (SM), and the Vishisht Seva Medal for his distinguished services in the Indian Army. A man who's been the Vice Chancellor of the Aligarh Muslim University. He's also been a member of the Armed Forces Tribunal, also a Defence Attache of India to the Gulf, and he's now turned author with his latest book, the Sarkari Mussalman. General Shah, it's a pleasure having you on the show, and thank you so much for taking our time and agreeing to come on my show.
Pleasure, Pramod. My elder brother was a year elder to me, and my mother couldn't take care of two siblings, two small brats. So I was handed over to my foster mother, my aunt, who raised me up till I was 5 years old.
And then at 5 you were taken.
5 I was dragged out from my apron strings and brought to my biological parents, and then I lived with them. They were posted in Lucknow. My father was posted in Lucknow, and I spent my early 5 years in a small place called Sardhana, that is near Meerut, where I had the freedom of the world. Absolutely. I had the entry into all the orchards and sugarcane fields and everything. So it was a wonderful 5 years, carefree, no schooling at all, other than the fact that I went to the Maulvi to learn Arabic and Urdu. Well, they felt, and rightly, that I needed a modern education, which the Sardhana did not provide. So I was taken in and under their care and sent to a convent school in Lucknow. My father had a very adventurous career. At the age of 15 or 16, he went off to Afghanistan with his uncle, basically to reclaim the family estates, which we had lost in 1843, when my great-great-grandfather had migrated to India. And from there, he was the English tutor to the Crown Prince. And when King Amanullah was deposed in a coup by his commander-in-chief, my father fled along with him, came on to Bombay. This is all given in my book. Yeah, exactly. And then from Afghanistan, and then they sailed to Italy. And then in Italy, where he had taken asylum, King Amanullah, my dad was given a monetary award, and from there he went to England, where he spent 4 or 5 years in England, and then came back after he ran out of money. He didn't tell me much because I don't think he studied very much. He just enjoyed himself there. My sudden appearance was resented. Yes. Because where two of them were sharing something, now it was 1/3 instead of half. Exactly. So, but we became friends, because then my father believed that the best investment was education of the children. So we went to the best boarding school in India, St. Joseph's College, Nainital, where 3 of us spent 10 years together. And nobody could bully us. There were 3 of us. Absolutely. And it was a wonderful childhood by all means. My mother was diametrically opposite to my dad. She had got Haveli education. That meant she knew Urdu, Arabic and Persian, and not English, regretfully, which was her main regret in life. And my father was an Anglophile. But they got on famously. They made adjustments for each other. and we were very lucky to be blessed with such happy and parents who devoted all their time to us.
School when you joined?
I joined, finished school, and this is what I say, that when people ask me about discrimination, and I tell them, no, not discrimination against the less educated. And we had the fortune of being better educated. So my elder brother went off to IIT, he cracked the exam. I went to NDA, first attempt.
Correct.
And Nasir was harboring thoughts of bolting into the blue,
Yes.
which he did. But despite that, he still made good in the film world.
I think he made very well.
And I think it's all because of the education we got.
Absolutely.
No, at that point of time he wasn't, and he died a little too early at the age of 70. But he did see his first movie, Nishant, and he was very satisfied that he wasn't prancing around bushes and such things. He was a serious actor.
Yeah, and a stellar performance.
And it was a stellar performance which was lauded all over. So he died pretty contented that Nasir also had made it good.
Been, the
Yes,
youngest.
Nasir was the youngest. See, I read a very interesting article in Life as to who's the favorite son. It is can either be the elder son or the younger one. As a child,
Exactly.
the middle, which I was never a favorite child of the parents, but I did.
Yeah.
After I joined the NDA and after I got married, I think basically because of the services by my wife,
Exactly.
I tend to think that I became a favorite of his. He gave us a loose rope. He allowed us to join whichever profession we wanted.
Correct.
So he was, because ours is an old family, military family. My great-great-grandfather had served in France, fought 4 years, and we have a generation of 200-300 years of soldiering. So my father was very, very happy that I joined the army. Oh, it was unforgettable. It was a very, very
Did
tough.
you join the
I joined NDA in 1964 after my senior Cambridge exam in 63. December 63, I gave my exam, and next summer I was in NDA.
And NDA is what? It's
NDA is a 3-year course,
Correct.
combined course with all the 3 services. And then the final year I spent in the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, and then I got my commission into a Camel Pack Regiment. You've already seen that painting,
about that
yes,
painting, sir.
by the famous artist Colonel Arul Raj,
Right.
whose paintings adorn Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Absolutely. I've
So
seen
he,
his paintings.
so he and I served together in the Camel Pack Regiment, and he made that painting. And I'm very proud of the fact that it was the only Camel Pack artillery regiment in the whole world, east of the Suez. So we were very, very proud of that. In 1971, I was in the Battle of Longewala. My regiment fought the war, and I spent 6
This
months.
is the Camel Regiment.
This had been made into a towed regiment just before the war.
Okay. I read in the book that you used to actually take camels from Bikaner to
To Jaisalmer.
Yeah.
So it was 7 days hard ride. 7 days hard ride on a camel. But I loved it because I had freedom of I was a second lieutenant or captain. I was leading the column. I indulged in my passion shikar, and I did till it was permitted.
Yeah.
After that, I joined the World Wildlife and became for saving wildlife. So it was a transformation from shikar onto
Shikar to actually
to saving wildlife. I was commissioned in June 1968 and I retired in August 2008. So that's 40 years and 6 months of military of great happiness, great enjoyment, great service. Serving with the men who were prepared to give their life for the country and for you if you were in trouble. So it was a magnificent life.
illustrious and meritorious.
Absolutely.
You won 3 very important awards.
Yes, I was very lucky. Basically because of the performance of the men I led and the officers who were on my team. These awards are basically recognition of their service and their dedication.
That's what is known as a a pure leader.
Absolutely. I think you have to give credit to the people you command. I mean, after all, you are nothing without them.
Correct.
The men are all that matters in the armed forces. The biggest lesson of my life was when I was commanding a brigade in Manipur. We were involved in counterinsurgency, and one fine day there was an operation led by a young captain, in which I had sent two informers who were to show us the location. So these fellows hoodwinked the captain into giving them weapons. That was against the rules. But they said, you give us unloaded weapons because we don't want to be identified as informers. They were in combat dress, and they went to the hut where these people pointed out, and the one officer with one of the informers went in to search. A junior commissioned officer with the second informer was outside, so he asked permission to go behind the bush. So he gave him permission, and then this fellow didn't reappear. So the JCO raised an alarm. The officer came running out to see what had happened, and the second informer jumped out of the window, and both vanished. And now loss of rifles, AK-47s, is a mortal sin in the army. And I was in a big spin because next day the Chief of Army Staff was visiting my brigade.
Okay. And what were you, sir?
I was a brigadier.
Oh.
So I called my corps commander, General Nanavati, who I respect a great deal, told him the actual story, and also told him that we'll show the loss of these two rifles in the Loktak Lake, in the marshes.
Okay.
This was a cover-up story.
Correct.
So he just laughed and told me, Zameer, come out clean. Nothing is going to happen. So we came out clean, reported as actually happened.
Okay.
Now what happened was, these two fellows were in the headlines of the Manipur newspapers next day, presenting the two weapons to the Chief of the People's Liberation Army of Manipur. So you would have imagined what would have happened to me if I had fibbed and given a wrong report. So the lesson learned is come out clean.
Absolutely.
And whatever it is, I always tell people, come out clean. Your seniors will protect you. If you tell a fib, if you tell lies, they will not. You will buy trouble. I would have probably been court-martialed for giving a wrong report. So that's the biggest lesson I learned in my army service. Come out clean. There are other lessons I have learned also.
Correct.
The second is, nothing is good or as bad as initially reported. You will get a whole lot of reports, especially if it's a success. So we did this, we did that.
Yeah.
But when you go into the ground, you realize that it was not really so.
Exactly.
Nothing is as good or bad as initially reported. And the third lesson I have learned is that, you've got to have faith in the men you command. If you have faith, they have faith in you. So these are the few valuable lessons I've learned. That was a very sad duty which I had to perform. But I can say with pride that we took no sides. We were absolutely very, very strict on the trouble creators. The orders were shoot anybody, any arsonist you see. And
I can imagine, sir, you waiting for 24 hours in the airfield.
Yes. Of course. People ask me what was the reason. They try to point fingers. But I said that it was an administrative failure, which it was. I mean, the civil administration should have ensured that we were not without logistic support for 36 hours after we landed at the Ahmedabad airfield. I became Deputy Chief of Army Staff 2 years before I retired, 2006, and it was a very, very challenging job, basically because I was responsible for acquisitions for the army and the finances. So this was a very, very difficult job, and I think we handled it quite well. See, in school, everybody had a nickname. It showed affection. And I was in the school relay race, and one day I must have run very fast. So people said it's Zoom. So ZZ. So it became Zoom Shah. Then my classmates who joined NDA with me, took it to NDA, and then from NDA it came on to the army.
Correct.
And then in the army, that's my sobriquet, Zoom Shah. You won't, nobody knows me as Zameer Shah. Everybody says, oh, Zoom Shah.
Correct.
And Zoom Shah, I felt very comfortable with the name.
Correct.
Because if people called me Zoom, I knew everything was alright. If they said Shah,
that means
my surname, they spelled trouble, that something was amiss. So this was, everybody has a nickname in the army. And
when you became deputy chief, the headlines all the headlines were blaring out that
Nazir's brother became deputy chief. It shows the importance the media has to the film world.
Exactly.
They could have said Zameeruddin Shah's younger brother is Nasiruddin Shah.
Exactly.
No, but they have their way of getting eyeball attention, which they do. I mean, I've got no problems with that. In fact, I wrote a small article in a military magazine, living under the shadow of a celebrity brother. Where I've given it's a fun side of life. I mean, I've always had a laugh. Basically because I think Nasir is a great actor. He's the best actor in the country.
Absolutely.
And I'm very proud of the fact that he's my kid brother. We are an old-fashioned family. We have 4 children. Sir? We are old-fashioned because we have 4 children. Unlike the nuclear families who have a maximum 2 at best or at worst 1.
Correct.
I say 1 because it's always a spoiled brat. So my eldest is married to a naval commodore who's in the naval aviation. The second is she's now turned politician. Because she's now got the ticket for the Lok Sabha. And her father-in-law was the Speaker of the West Bengal Assembly for 24 years. And her husband is a very devoted leftist, if I may add. But he serves humanity. He has got a hospital basically for the underprivileged. And he does dialysis for ₹50. Wow. Can you believe it? That is amazing. In his hospital for the poor.
That's real philanthropy.
So it is. So my younger daughter has just got the ticket for the Lok Sabha from the CPIM. And I've got nothing against communists or anybody for that matter, any political party. Even the rightists, I say if they're good, they are good and bad people in all parties.
Correct.
So I would say that she'll be a good representative of the people. Third is Ali, my son, who was also my ADC. He was in my regiment. And the fourth is working with Tata Consultancy. So we've got 2 boys and 2 girls. We are blessed to have such children. Yes, it's always good to be a member of a large family because then you can, at a call, you will have 4 people standing by your side, besides your wife. So it's a wonderful thing to have a large family.
Awesome. And the grandchildren, sir?
I have 4 grandchildren, 2 grandsons and 2 granddaughters.
Wonderful.
A grandson who is now 24 years old. He graduated from New York University, Abu Dhabi, and is now working in Saudi Arabia. The second is a granddaughter who is studying in the London School of Economics. The third is again a granddaughter who is studying in Calcutta. And the fourth is Ali's son, who is now in the class 7. So I do hope that he will follow the footsteps of their parents, who are doing very, very well in life, thank God.
Very good. What keeps you busy nowadays? I believe you play a lot of golf.
Well, no, I spend most of the time in Mussoorie, where I do a lot of trekking.
You have a home there, sir?
We have a home. My father left me a home in Mussoorie. So we spent summers, 8 months really, in Mussoorie and 4 months in Gurgaon. I do a lot of trekking, reading, and house chores, which I don't hesitate.
You help ma'am, is it?
I do. We share our life together.
Awesome.
And training my dog. I'm a trainer of animals. I train horses and camels and dogs, army dogs. And I have a lot of interest in training dogs. And my dogs are very well trained.
Wish you a long and happy life, healthy life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pramod.
Pleasure talking to you.
It was my
Thank you so much for taking our time.
And certainly. And I was very impressed by your electronic bike.
Yes. That's how we met the first time.
That's how we met. and this is one of the ways we've got to have a green, use green technology to better our lives.
Thank you so much.
A homemaker, decorator and excellent cook has the ability to read any person like a book. Her counsel, sane advice could never be lost, ignored at great peril and immeasurable cost. 45 years, now it is 52. What a blissful and retain your strength and verve. You've done your bit. It's my turn to serve. Oh, you're still serving me.